Ladies and gentlemen from around the world, my name is Dr. Tuffnar, and welcome back to the Brief Vapes channel, where, in a brief summary as possible, I try to tell you why you should or shouldn't buy a particular piece of vaping gear. Today we're going to be talking about this little beauty right here. I can only apologise for the terrible lighting, as you know, or if you don't, let me see if I can get a little bit more light on here. If you're new to the channel, I am very shoddy in the way I review things. The basic premise of this channel is that we do try to do it as quickly as possible. I give my subjective criticisms or, appraisals to certain devices, and you go from there, really. Just a different way of doing things. So today, this was the Valyrian Tank, by the way, by Uwell. It's their newest sub-ohm tank. I'm trying to remember whether the Crown 3 Mini came out before or after the Valyrian. Let's just assume that this is their newest high-end sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of mainstream tank that they're pushing. It's a follow-on from the Crown 3, which, in my opinion, still, including this, is the best sub-ohm tank for flavour on the market at the moment that I've tried. The Valyrian doesn't really do that much new. Like I said, we don't go into heavy detail on the in these videos. Basically, I'm going to tell you, I don't get the box open and show you all the little intricate things that come with it. But the Valyrian comes with a couple of little gimmicky things. Basically, they're 510 connectors that have an extension piece that runs up through the coil, which is meant to affect the way the draw feels and the flavour comes across. And I can't say that I've really noticed that much of a difference. You get, I was considering getting one out then, but basically they're like, so your 510 obviously starts at the base of the atomizer, and it comes up through here, and about halfway through the coil it stops. There's a spiraled one that's spiraled up, which is meant to increase smooth airflow, which I've not noticed at all. And there's like a weird butt plug type one, which is my preferred one. It's better than having neither in. It does come with a stock 510 plug, which frees up all the space at the base of the atomizer for big airflow. So if you're one for a big, huge long hit, then just leaving out the gimmicky extension 510s. Oh, sorry, the football team's just scored, I think. My dad and my brother are Villa fans, so that's where it's coming from. So if you're a fan of the big airflow, I would leave it out. But to me, there's not much of a difference either way. Yeah, aside from that, it's a standard sort of stock sub-ohm tank, if I'm entirely honest. It has the traditional smooth Uwell flavour and airflow. Very whooshy, which is very sort of... It's very... They have a very turbulent sound, all of the Uwell tanks. But that's not a problem for me, and if it is for you, then that's fine. The great thing about this tank, and I think the crowning attribute of all Uwell's tanks, is the flavour. They always seem to chase the flavour, and whilst I'm slightly disappointed that the coils for this tank only come in 0.15 variants, there isn't anything higher or lower. I wouldn't want to go any lower, and all I want is higher, to be honest with you. Uwell has always done coils which perform best at 0.5, and I would love an option for that. And if anyone from Uwell is watching, an engineer or a marketer or someone who just takes in feedback, please introduce a higher variant of coil ohmage. That makes sense. Please introduce a higher ohmed coil, so it's 0.5, please. Or it's 0.3 would be good enough. I always think it's conducive to better flavour. It's just a fantastic tank all round. I love Uwell, despite their rocky history with some of the tanks that they've had. We won't get into that here, but they've had a very rocky history, particularly with the Crown 2. And seeing them come back with the Crown 3 was fantastic, because it's, like I said, it's still my favourite sub-ohm tank to date. I own two. I have different flavours going all the time in each one of them, and I use them every single day, guaranteed, both of them. And the Valyrian has stood alongside them since I've had it. I've had it for about a week and a half now. I've had one of the 0.1... No, sorry, I've had two of the 0.15 coils in here. I put the first one in the shop, and I didn't quite saturate the coil well enough. You get caught up in the moment when you're in a vape shop. I'm chatting whilst I'm vaping, and I sort of do a shoddy job of saturating the coil, and it just comes across as very... when I screwed it back in and I started to hit the thing, it's one of those coils that punishes you if you don't saturate it correctly, and it will stay dry hitting and sort of weird tasting for the next, well, however long you proceed to vape that coil, basically. I put the second one in there, saturated it properly, left it for a full 10 minutes to soak up all the juice so all the cotton is well saturated. No problems whatsoever. It's been a perfect performing coil since then. I put that in, the second one in, about a week ago, and it's still going strong. I've noticed no dip in flavour. Fantastic, really, 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 really fantastic. I cannot heap enough praise onto this thing. Seeing then, as I seem to think that the Uwell Crown 3 and this are the kings of the sub-ohm flavour market at the moment, which one would I recommend? I would still recommend the Crown 3. If you can get your hands on a Crown 3 and a non-EU regulated Crown 3, there's plenty of second-hand ones floating around out there, and you can. It's probably easy enough to get one imported. I would still say go for that. But if it's really all you can go for, the Valyrian, get it without a shadow of a doubt. It is a fantastic tank in every conceivable way. I love it to death. I've been using it every day, and I will continue to use it every day. It's really, really great. A mention about the glass, even though it's advertised as 2mm, every one that I've seen has that silly little plastic insert inside around the top of the atomizer that sits inside the tank, top of the atomizer, top of the why am I struggling to remember what it's called? The airflow chamber. There's a better term for it, but I can't think of it right now. It's sort of an insert that sits inside the glass and makes it TPD compliant. You just remove the insert, bumps it up to 4mm straight away. I have the 8ml extension glass here, which every single I've been in 2 brick and mortars that sell this, and both of those sell the 8mm extension glass with it separately, obviously. So I think it cost me about £4, which is more than enough, more than reasonable enough. That's it, really, guys. That's the Uwell Valyrian Tank. Really, really good. Like I said, I can't heap praise on it enough. I think it's fantastic. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Like I said, these will be coming out more and more regularly. I'm falling into the habit of doing it now. I mentioned in the last video that I was going to be doing the Revo, and I am doing the Revo. It's already filmed. So you can look forward to that within the next 2 to 3 days, hopefully. Definitely sometime this week. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Remember to leave feedback in the comments section. Subscribe, like, dislike if you want. As long as it's constructive feedback. If it's negative, I'm happy with that. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, vape. Where would we be without YouTubers blowing vape at the camera at the end of every video? See ya.